Hey guys, Sandy here, and welcome back to Follow Sketch Friday. Today I am scrapbooking a photo of a Disney trash can, and as you guys can see, I'm already not really following the sketch. The sketch calls for 3 photos, and I am just using one. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to turn it or if I'm going to keep it this way, but I do have the Pika Dot grid stencil. I have some ink from Close to My Heart, some glitter glaze from Brutus Monroe, and the magical pink and Maine blender brush. So let's see what I can do. The first thing I'm going to do is grab that ink and I'm going to run my pink and Maine blender brush over it, and I'm just going to rub over top of the stencil. Now I wasn't sure how dark the ink was going to come across, so I just peeked underneath and got a sneak peek. So while I'm doing this, I am varying the pressure. I'm not looking for complete, what's the word, people? I'm not looking for the same level of ink through every bit of the stencil. I'm looking for a little bit of variety. I want darker parts and lighter parts. And that's because I'm going to shift the stencil over and use my glitter glaze and just add a little extra sparkle. Now, it doesn't take me a long time to do this, to run my ink over top of the stencil, and I am holding on to my microfiber towel because I have learned that the ink on the stencil transfers to my fingers and sometimes it looks real bad. So I'm just using that to hold on to the stencil while I'm working, and then we'll go ahead and wipe the stencil right off with this microfiber towel. Now this is just going to get, the majority of the ink off. I will go wash it underwater eventually. And then I'm going to take my blender brush and just rub that across the towel as well, and that's going to get the excess ink off of the bristles. So I'm going to figure out where I want my offset to be, and I'm just messing around with a little bit, trying to figure out what looks the best, which direction I should go with, and I decide that this is what works the best. This is what looks most pleasing to my eye, so I'm going to go with it. Now it does almost kind of do an optical illusion on the camera, but in life, it really didn't do that. Now, I had originally intended on using my gilded sparkle glitter glaze from Brutus Monroe. However, when I opened it, it was empty. So I don't know if I kept the empty jar as a reminder to order some more, or if I just wasn't paying attention and put it back in my glitter glaze tray. I mean, who knows? But I could not use the gilded like I had planned on, which is a golden sparkle. I ended up pulling out walnut sparkle, which has gold in it. So it has gold and copper, and it is a super sparkly glitter glaze. Now I'm going to use my glitter glaze spatula. I do have one dedicated just for the glitter because glitter sticks. I did get some metal spatulas in the mail. So I do need to pull those out and see if I like them yet. For whatever reason, I completely forgot I had them and I just reached for my glitter spatula. Now, again, I am not looking for continuity of the glitter glaze across all of the circles. I'm kind of filling in some completely and just having the edge filled in on some of the other. I just want a little touch of sparkle and a little touch of fun. Back here on my background, it isn't all about filling it out completely. And just look at that. I just love it. Just love it. So now the ink and glitter glaze has had a chance to dry, so I'm going to go ahead and put together the rest of the layout. So I flipped through my 6x8 papers and just grabbed ones that I thought would go. Now the Disney trash can here has kind of a wooden painted theme on it. It is definitely not a real wooden trash can. It is a metal trash can that has been painted. So I kind of went with a fall theme, fall colors for sure. The trash cans just scream fall to me. And that might seem weird, but trash cans do scream a theme. And this one was screaming fall. So I'm going to layer it up because I'm following the sketch. I decide not to actually use a banner like it is depicted in the sketch. I just decided to go with rectangles. I felt like I already had enough busyness going on with the backgrounds, so I really did not need to add banners and arrows and that kind of thing. I felt like it would kind of distract from what was going on in the layout. Because there is a lot of shining, shimmering, splendid going on here, people. I have the foiled paper and the glitter in the background, so there's just a lot going on. Now, I did pull out some die cuts, and these are One Canoe 2 and Vicky Booten. And I really wanted to get that leaf die cut onto the layout because I just love it, and I thought, you know, it totally fit the theme. It totally fit how I was feeling and thinking. But it just didn't make it on there because no matter what I did, I couldn't get it to look good. It looked like I'm trying too hard to get this die cut on this layout, and we don't want that. So I have these two frames. One says Happiness Comes in Waves, and it is a cityscape with a beach. And there is nothing city feeling about the photo. There's nothing city feeling about this layout. But I really like the fact that everything else felt kind of country and fallish and, you know, that kind of feeling. And then I'm going to throw this city die cut on there. It just, I don't know, it felt funny in my head. It felt quirky. And I just was like, this is the perfect die cut. You might be thinking, Sandy, you're a little bit crazy for doing that. But you know what? That's okay. It makes sense in my head. And I like the humor in it, I guess. It's not like super I'm laughing my rear end off funny, but it's humorous to me. So I do fill in this frame with that same floral paper, and I'm pretty sure that came from the Simple Stories I Am collection. Now, my Simple Pleasures die cut was very white, and there's not a whole lot of white in the layout, and I just felt like it was like this stark white color, and it was a little bit whoa. So I took my blending brush that still had a little bit of ink on it and just ran it over the top of it just to give that white die cut a small splash of an orangey color so that it kind of felt like it made sense more with the layout. So I have almost totally gone off the rails from the sketch that I'm doing. I did not put the title up at the top. I moved it down here. I haven't added an arrow. I haven't added a banner. And then I only have 3 photos, or I only have 1 photo, but I am bringing across that horizontal element a little bit. And I'm doing that with the happiness frame and then also some journaling. Now I wanted to bring that darker green color in a little bit more, so I'm using this cut apart, not for the intention that it was supposed to be. So there's this beautiful foiled quote on it, and I'm totally ignoring that and just using it for the green bits. So I trim it down so that I can have the green go over, span both of these elements for this horizontal piece. And I just felt like I needed that dark green one more place on the layout. I had it as the photo mat, and it just felt like everything was kind of light and bright except for this photo mat. So I felt like that green had to come in again. So I trim off a little bit more of the green, and I'm going to put it over here on the left side of the page as well. And it does do a little bit of a green on green, but I'm okay with that. I'm not like worried that somebody's going to look at this and be like, oh, Sandy, I can't believe you put the green on the green. Like, what are you thinking? And really, if you do look at my layout and think that, like, oh, well, I'm okay with the layout. So I decide, of course, that's not enough green. So I go ahead and use the photo mat scrap to add a little bit up top here. And then I even think about doing it down here at the bottom, and I try it out, but I just don't like the way it looks. It adds a little bit of heaviness, and it just doesn't feel right. I actually counted the dots to make sure that I was putting the lower green piece in the same position as the upper green piece because it just looked weird to me. So, you know, that gets the axe. We're not going to go ahead and place it down there. Then I wax poetic about my love of the Disney trash can for a few minutes and how beautiful they are and how fun they are. And then that, I believe, is going to wrap up this layout. So it is a pretty flat layout. I don't have a lot of extra embellishments, but the or the copper foil and the glitter glaze just really kind of make it so you don't need an awful lot of extra embellishment because it's kind of a bang, pow, in your face type thing. So there it is, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again real soon for another video.